All right, welcome back to Alter Life Podcast. This is episode 10 with Ken Johnson and Coach Richard Moncrief. So Ken, with you going to Lee, being a legend at Lee, at Concordia, all-time leading passer, yards, touchdowns. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Well, I'm from Montgomery, Alabama, born and raised from the north side of town, Sheridan Heights. Just a kid, man, with big dreams, being some type of athlete, coming from a family full of athletes, having over roughly like 500 and some cousins, and everybody was good in something, it kind of drove me to, find my niche in something. My dad was 6'3", basketball player at Lee. Unfortunately, I didn't get to 6'3", but, so I just had to find my niche, man. My granddad got drafted by the Red Sox. Just wanted to be an athlete, man, because that's all I seen coming up.
Okay. And on my right here, I have the legend.
The GOAT.
The GOAT. Man, like I tell him, man, he the coldest thing east of the Mississippi, man. Really, and I really feel that. It's Coach Moncrief. He's a Montgomery legend. Graduate of JD. A Clemson Tiger alumni. He's a quarterback coach at Alabama State University right now, and along the way, he has a long resume, man, of coaching some of the greats at some of the biggest schools also. UAB, Clark Atlanta, Tuskegee, Sidney Lanier, Selma High. So, Coach, is there anything you want to tell the people that I haven't?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm excited to be here. I think this is a magnificent opportunity to get your message out and to let the people know what's going on in the community. Like Ken, I'm a Montgomery guy, love it with a passion, proud of being a Montgomery guy. And football was my avenue. It allowed me to go different places that I probably wouldn't. Come from a great family, love all of them dearly. And my dad, he played football here at Booker T. Washington in Alabama State. They say he was a good ball player.
I heard about it.
Yeah, so I'm fortunate with that, and had great mentors all my life. Ricky Cotton, Steve Holloway, real stand-up guys in the community that not only mentor me, but mentor you as well.
Exactly. Two of mine also, man. That's what Coach, I look at it like we talk all the time, and I tell you, man, you was more so my big brother, because we share the same birthday.
That's right.
You was more so my big brother, my mentor, and my pops, man. I looked at you like you were my dad.
Well, sometimes you look at people and you see that light in them, even if they don't see it in themselves at the time. And I told you at a football camp once before, Sidney Lanier High School football, they should have your face on the helmet, because nobody played with the kind of passion, nobody played with the kind of mindset that held the other players accountable for their actions. Size didn't become an issue with you. You were a great basketball player, phenomenal football player, and I said it earlier, I can hear your name ringing in the street always as that guy. So I mean, when you see that special ball player, I thought it was my mission to try to go in and share what I knew, to help you propel in your career.
And I appreciate that, Coach. It wasn't so much about ability with me. I knew in the 10th grade, when I was in the 12th grade and Tavar was in 10th grade, we all knew he should have been the guy at that point, but he wasn't ready at that particular time. But he became ready once I got hurt. But, and from what you're speaking from, you're not speaking from just talent. You were speaking from an all-around leader standpoint, so it's not misconstrued to the people. So it gives them something to argue about, but y'all can argue with whatever y'all want to argue. Y'all heard the man. Y'all heard what he said.
But don't minimize yourself when
exactly.
it comes down to the talent. You had it.
And like I tell people all the time, Coach, I was pretty good, but it just wasn't in the cards for me you know, go to, well, I had played college football, but to go to the next level, even though I wanted to. But we're going to get into this first question, man. This for both of y'all. Tell me a time, a situation, or event that altered your life.
For me, it's 2 times. I always tell people 8 and 14. Some of the people that follow Alter Life, they'll probably know, because you mentioned it, the first episode with our cousin being, that was my road dog.
Yeah.
Coming up. You know what I mean? I mean, like, if we were going to do something, we were going to do it together. And we ain't had to worry about us telling on each other. When your mama called up there, your cousin called up there, yeah, whatever, we got the same story.
Right.
And you know, that kind of, for a good 2 years of my life, it kind of shook me a little bit. You know what I mean? Had me a little off. And but you know, through getting baptized, you know what I mean, going to church and getting over certain fears about, you know what I'm saying, that particular day, kind of helped me out. And 14, my mom got in a real bad car accident. I was in like 5th period at school. I was in 8th grade, and they called me the intercom to check out. Looking at the clock, checking me out this time of the day. And with my sister roommate, so I was like, man, what's going on? They ain't tell me. But she had gotten a real bad car accident, and at the time I was playing 3 sports. I was playing basketball, football, and baseball. At the particular time was baseball season, and I stopped playing baseball then to concentrate on the 2 sports that she always talked about. So that, you know, it kind of altered. Let me cut something down, you know, help her out financially, you know, take a little burden off her. You know what I'm saying? Don't be so selfish and think about myself, and just hone my skills, man. And, you know, I tell people this story all the time. 8 and 14, man. Really, you know, what got me to where I'm at today. Even as a parent, my 2 daughters, you know what I mean? Certain situations, stay away from, you know, keeping another head, just, hey, I'm gonna need, man.
It's part of your upbringing, man. And I was talking to a guy today, man. We was talking about my son, Zayla, man. You know, at some point, you have to allow them to make their own decisions, own choices.
Yeah.
And then they have to rely on what their upbringing,
Right, yeah.
what you put into them.
Yeah.
At some point, they're gonna have to make a choice.
Yeah.
You can't be there to stand over.
Yeah.
Hey, no, go left, or go right.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to make that choice
Yeah.
at some point. And what you put into them in their upbringing, you're hoping that they'll make the right choice all the time.
Yeah.
But that's not humanly possible, actually, you know, to make the right choice
Sure.
all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
you know, but I'm gonna go to Coach Moncrief. Coach, you tell us about a time that, or event that altered your life.
Before I get in there, Coach, I want to say this. To me, it's fascinating to see the mental strength in a young man, 8, 14, to have the decision making and the mental toughness to say, okay, this happened in my life, but I want something else for myself. And a lot of times we take for granted the difficulties people have and their ability to overcome.
Exactly.
You know, you have a lot of people who choose to go the other way, and it's, oh, woe is me, or look how I got mistreated. I respect him even more. Always loved him. But to hear him say that, because those are things I didn't know anything about.
Yeah.
But just to have mental toughness to keep moving. That's
like
my-
you said,
my
Coach,
respect for that.
overcome
Yep.
and perseverance.
Absolutely.
You know, and those are 2 things that, you know, as black men, we got, you know, that we have
Right.
that come from the background that we come from. You know,
Exactly.
so
Oh, to answer your question, for me, it's been more or less my children. And I have 2 daughters from a previous marriage. And I watch them, and you talk about pouring into them. One of them graduated college from UAB. The other one is a sophomore in Tuskegee. But the vision that they have for themselves, the work ethic, I want to be somebody, that made me proud. So now, my son, with my current wife, he's 2. So I got a big big gap between them. But I see the same kind of determination in it. And you know, it make me proud when I watch it. Okay, yeah, he's still a baby. You know, you go do baby things, get frustrated and whine and fuss about this. But when he makes his mind up and say, I want this, or I want to learn how to do that, man, that's the joy, all the joy I need. You know?
But they say the apple don't fall too far from the tree though, Coach.
Yeah, they got good
seriously. Man, that's you. I remember those girls, man. Carly and Kayla, I remember those girls when they were little.
Yeah.
And to see one graduating and one is a sophomore, and the one that touched keys, she's a softball player.
That's right. Absolutely.
Athlete.
Softball.
Athlete. You know, but Coach, that's you though.
Yeah.
You know, that's solely you. Okay, Ken, this question for you. Tell me what separates you from other coaches out in Montgomery.
Passion. Passion and the love for the game. I ain't just doing it just to say I'm a coach. I mean, I had great people to bring me up and tell me, you know, when that day comes, when it's time to hang up the cleats, pour back into, you know, the community. You know what I mean? So this guy here, like he my mentor. I call him the master. In my cell phone, he say the master. So you know, his mama was babysitting me, and my sister back in the days. And this is before, and I ain't learned this until like 2006. His mama came to the game, and she was like my baby, and I was like, you know, but I was young then. You know what I mean? But you know, to me, man. Coaching, it's not about you. I get the joy in seeing these kids succeed. You know, I just had a kid, man. I had him for 4 years. He didn't even believe me. In the 9th grade, I pulled him to the side. I said, if you listen to me, I said, in 4 years, you'll sign a Division I scholarship. I said, I don't know where it's gonna be, but you're gonna be the first one that I done had to sign a Division I scholarship. And it came true. He stayed the course. He trusted the process. And signed with Bethune-Cookman, proud of him, talk to him every day, and it's kind of like me and Coach relationship. Like that's how we are. You know, he gonna call me. It's stuff that he be like, man, I ain't even talk to my mom or my dad. I want to hear it from you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And sometimes mom be like, hey, I need you to. He counter, and I said, listen here, boy. Hey. Don't make me have to come over there now.
But that's part of being a mentor, though.
And
I was like that with him, though.
Yeah.
You know, I was like that with him. Like, it was things that I couldn't talk to mom, that I didn't feel comfortable. Talking to my mom about that I could talk to him about.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, man, that mentoring relationship, man, and it's a bond that's unbreakable.
Yeah.
If it's done right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I would say that. If it's done right, it's unbreakable. Right. Because, man, I still look at him like that same. Even though we're older, I'm 40 now. And I was 16, 15, 16, something like that.
Right.
That's over 25 years.
It's funny, man.
You know what I mean?
It's funny because particular parents like, I'm gonna take him to Coach Moncrief. I just laughed. I laughed. Right. I said, okay, that's fine. I said that's fine. Right. But then when they come back, and they was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't even know. Well, you ain't supposed to know.
Exactly. Yeah. You're trying to be right.
Yeah. You're trying to be right. Yeah, you're trying to play two people. Like,
absolutely. Like Holloway said, it's a mutiny. Okay, Coach, this is for you.
All right.
Okay, can you tell us more about Richard Moncrief Quarterback Institute?
Absolutely.
What it is and what it provides.
Okay. First thing we want to do is allow young men to master leadership. And that's supposed to be synonymous with the quarterback position. Leadership, quarterback, they go hand in hand. So we use quarterback play as a platform for mentoring, leadership, and this is going to sound crazy, but my wife came up with this concept. She calls it empowering, engaging, and evolving at the quarterback position. So those three things are the areas that we're trying to focus on right now. And I was listening to Shannon Sharp the other day. He was talking about the black quarterback, etc. And I used to tell Kent, you, Tavares, everybody that I dealt with, it's a certain way that you conduct yourself at quarterback.
Yeah.
Now, is that universal? At this stage of my life, no. But there are certain fundamentals that hold true. You got to care about your teammates. You got to have a great work ethic. You got to be a great decision maker. If you can do those things, then how you dress, how you talk, what's your hair like, that should never come into play.
Right. You can be green.
You can be green.
You can be green and still play.
Green and still
Coach,
do it.
right. Like you said, Coach. And I truly believe that. Like, when I'm talking to guys and I'm instilling guys, even with Score for Achievement, when you're doing things, if you're doing things the right way all the time, it don't matter.
That's right.
I understand things may not go your way all the time when it becomes you and someone else that's of a different race. That don't matter at all. That don't matter. Because when I was growing up, as far as being an athlete, we always said that someone of another race will get a better opportunity than us. But I guarantee you one thing, once he get to where he going, and I get to where I'm going, he ain't gonna outwork me.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's that competitive edge that I had, that I grew up with guys like, starting with Ricky Cotton.
Right.
He put it in us. You know what I mean? That competitive edge, don't give up, that hard work, and it carried on to Coach Holloway, to you, and on to college. Like, I was in college, I used to call him more than I did. I leaned on him more than I leaned on my own coaches.
Right.
You know what's funny about that though? You guys are saying this stuff and I'm flattered. But y'all don't realize what y'all did for me. This was an opportunity for an older man to see all the principles that I believed in that might not have worked out in my case, but to watch you guys applying and do great. See, people put too much emphasis on a dollar than NFL.
Exactly.
Okay? Great football players are not measured so much on stats or the dollar bill or your name being in the paper. Great football players lead with effort. They lead with integrity. And they'll go be the guys that show up every single game. You, for instance. I coached you 3 years. You played every game. Big games, small games with the same ferociousness that I wanted the offense to have all the time. And it was beautiful to watch from the distance. And I had a chance to work with Ken down in Concordia. I watched him approach. Every ball game was the same, whether it's against Morehouse or whether it was against a team that people don't recognize. But the approach and the effort was there. So y'all really helped me transition from football to coaching, man. I'm forever grateful for that. I really am.
And Coach, with with the Richard Moncrief Quarterback Institute, what ages athlete do you serve?
All right. Right now, we want to start our Richard Moncrief Quarterback Institute Junior, and that's ages 9 to 12 for quarterbacks. Okay. And the reason we start at 9 is we want a guy to be able to sit down in his desk, a guy to be able to come to me and say, "Hey, Coach, this is my favorite quarterback," without asking his parents. I want him to have a logical thought for himself.
Okay.
And then we deal with guys from 13 all the way up to the NFL.
Okay. Okay. That's good. That's good. So you get them early.
Yes, sir.
And you work with them throughout.
Yes, sir.
So I mean, that's lay that foundation and like you're building a house.
Right.
You continue to build on it.
Yeah. And I want to go on record right now as saying, Montgomery Youth League, if you're watching this podcast, you have answers. You have Coach Johnson right here. You have myself. You have one of the guys who's my lead instructor, KD Humphries. Yeah. These are guys that are willing to pour back into the community and give these guys an opportunity to see what we've experienced.
And see, with that, with just like you're saying, with football, with y'all two, KD Humphries, you have the twins with basketball.
Absolutely.
So we don't have any excuse as Montgomery saying we don't have someone that helping our youth, that's trying to help our youth,
absolutely,
to better our youth. You still have people that have been there and that's trying to pour back into the community.
Yeah.
You know, and to start with you, Ken, with this question is for both of y'all. How long have you been developing quarterbacks?
Me, since 2012. It's funny. My first gig was at Capitol Heights in 2012. Had a little stint on the arena ball. Didn't even know if I wanted to coach or not. And I was guy just asked me to come up there and was like, hey man, you got time, just work with my kid. So I get to go and work with the kid and then translate over to what you doing? Oh, we didn't know you was at home. I'm like, yeah, I'm back at home. You want to coach? I'm like, yeah. And it's ironic, man, because I mess with him all the time. I messed with him when he got drafted. Daniel Thomas.
Yeah.
5'5". He was my first quarterback, all city quarterback, man. And I messed with him all the time. I said, you made all city, but you couldn't throw the ball 10 yards. and he'd say, well, coach, I ain't throw no picks. I said, you right about that. I said, you right about
That's
that.
the most important
Yeah,
thing.
that's the most important thing.
Hey, he
So,
took care of football,
you
man.
know, yeah, he took care of football. So, you know,
Yes,
man, I've been going since 12. And hopefully, man, to the casket drop, I'm gonna keep doing this thing, man. And serving the community. You know, like I said, it gives me great joy coming home knowing that I helped somebody. You know what I mean? Because somebody helped me along the way, and I really take pride in it, man. It's like, I'm pretty much like Cole, man. I don't need too much, man. You know what I mean? So like, most of the time, you know, hey, I can be somewhere big. You think you can? Okay,
Be there.
I be there.
And, you know, get back.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
Yeah.
I'm with it, coach. AK and I agree with you 100%, man. You know, with that. Because, man, if you know, it gives you joy.
Yeah.
So, to see somebody you have poured into,
Yeah.
to it start to manifest,
Yeah.
and he start to reach his goals that he set for,
Yeah.
man, it gives you joy within you.
Yeah.
It's not like you living through the kid.
Yeah.
It's just that joy that you get. Like, man, my heart was pouring into this kid.
Yeah.
Getting him to believe in himself.
Yeah.
That he can really, really achieve his goals that he has set. Man, once it starts to manifest and come to fruition, man, you be so
better than money.
Yeah.
Better than money.
At times, yeah.
Better than money,
you're
man.
right.
Better than money,
You're
man.
right.
Better than money.
And coach, same question for you, coach.
For me, it's kind of funny. I probably started coaching quarterbacks when I was in high school. Little kids in the neighborhood. Guys would come after the game, and on the way to the bus, hey man, Moncrief, show me how to throw it. You know, I catch it, boom, we throw it, talking, boom, 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 boom. There were times though, and I got to go back for a minute, coach. You asked me when I started, and that was the time, probably 1988. But I had a guy to pour into me at church, man. My mom, they grew up in Trinity Court, so we went to church right there at First Baptist Church. On the hill. Okay. So, Coach Cotton, man, Ricky Cotton, I say his name almost every day. He taught me about defensive linemen, when they go pass rush, when they're not going to pass rush, how they identify when the lineman, with the fingertips. You just did.
Yeah.
Same thing. So he taught me this at 14 years old. And I knew then, I said, I want to do a coach thing. You know, I'm talking about teaching guys how to dress, how to love the game, how to respect the game. I wouldn't be where I am today without people like that, Coach Holloway. I was in high school, Coach Holloway, he Tennessee State grad. We running down the street in the neighborhood singing TSU songs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he got the neighborhood kid.
Yeah.
We singing songs, working out. He taught me how to throw the fade when I was 12 years old. So I mean, the same stuff that we doing, the three of us, somebody got to pour in you.
Yes.
When you pour it to somebody else.
Coach, it's funny. It's funny, Coach, that you say Rick is somebody that started you when you were young.
Right.
Started me when I was young. Got a little older. It was Holloway.
Right.
Holloway.
Right.
Got a little older. High school. It became
Right.
you.
Right.
Because it's like the same. It's like someone has repeated it. because when I was 5 or 6, I wasn't old enough to play with the big kids. But we playing, throw it up, get bust in the park. I was a lot better than those kids, but I was younger. And Rick wouldn't let me play. And I'm talking about, man, I cried and I cried. And they used to tell me, man, you too little, you ain't ready for these boys. Now you tell me I play with these boys every day. I donut these same guys, I'm talking about. I'm just smaller.
Right.
And I cried and I cried and I cried. He wouldn't let me play. And I told him, next year, your best player, I'm going to hurt. I told him that when I was little. But get him out this park. Coach, the next year, coach, they allowed me to get them helmet and shoulder pads. Coach, I was bringing that wood to everybody. Coach, I was bringing that wood to everybody.
Motivation.
Guess what he started calling me? Dick Buckers.
Dick Buckers. Right.
That's why I got my nickname. Dick Buckers. Like, coach, I was on a mission. Because you ain't let me play last year, I'm gonna hurt your best player. So I told him, I'm hurt your best player.
You know what's crazy though, Coach? When you were talking, it took me back to a memory. I played for a guy, high school, Harry Scott. That was Rick's position coach at Bama State.
Strength and condition guy.
No, his wide receiver coach.
Okay.
Remember the guy that used to be the AD at St. Jude?
St. Jude.
Real small old man.
Basketball coach.
He coached Rick at Bama State.
Didn't know that.
So all of that stuff tie in together.
Man. It's just like a trickle down effect. It's just like a tree.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Different people, different branches of that same tree. In coaching, and it's just so awesome, man, that we can sit down and talk about these things. And all of this stuff just coming out. It's just like all of us come from the same exact tree.
To piggyback on both of y'all, it's funny because I done that had pen to the paper to go to St. Jude.
Right.
He sat in my living room with my mama, which my uncle played quarterback at St. Jude around the time back in the day.
Right.
So, I was kind of stoked for a minute, and then I was just like, nah, man, I ain't trying to play on no Little League field, no man. I'm trying to play in the bowl, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, man, I'm gonna go over there, man. I've been waiting to play in the bowl since I was legit. I don't want to play over there on the B field, man. No, brother.
You won't play on that little field
no more, man. I need them pound milk, man.
Everybody took out work on Friday night. They in the bowl.
Man.
That's right.
Everybody you go out there and make some plays, man. Like your name ringing around the city. Man, that was like that what it was about. Like, and Coach, you said about Holloway, singing the Tennessee State song.
Right.
He brought that to us at Belgrade. We used to walk out the locker room. You know what I'm saying? Chant.
Right.
Everybody. Like we down there. We in middle school. We got college chants. They turn around looking at us like I used to holler. And on there, y'all turn around looking because y'all finna get it. That's the drug, Coach. And on there, you turn around looking over here. Y'all finna get it. Man, Coach. Man, you just talking about this stuff, man. These stuff bringing up memories. Let me ask y'all this. In your opinion, do you believe black quarterbacks are judged under a different standard versus how critics examine white quarterbacks, and why?
I do, and I have personal experience with that. Coming into high school in 98, got there in 98. So I was a kid that I always kind of studied guys that that I was coming behind, or I was coming up the rear to see, like, okay, watching them and see, okay, I'm gonna go work on this, he a little off right here. I wanted a little edge by the time I got to high school. So going to Lee, I was like, man, dang. Back then, we had ninth grade. So I got to fight this thing. I got to get out here a year and a half, 2 years to try to get to college. So when I got there, pretty much, man, I was better than the kid, man. I give or take 10th grade, trying to build my body. 11th grade, we go into a game. We up at Central Tuscaloosa, 24-3, going to the third. Put me in the game. bring us all the way back, 24-22, take me out of the game. We lose the game 24-22. So, in my mind, I'm getting dressed like, I think I did enough to solidify myself. You know what I mean? So, next couple weeks, can't really justify it. So, with me, talking to my mama, the mama that I had, go sit down and be a man and see can you get some else.
Exactly.
Do. So, they want to have a conversation with you. I want to know what it is that I need to do. Or what haven't I done to, you know, be the star after my performance. Couldn't get no clear answer. But in the back of my mind, I already knew because I seen the plot after the game. Now you play good in front of this cat, and then they got the bus blocked off and they having a conversation. So then my mind says, don't worry about it, you still gotta go back and work. So my experience with that is thinking I ain't smart enough. But that's what they say. We ain't smart enough to play position. So it's a thing where it go back to proving people wrong. And you get your opportunity. And it's a lot of guys it came up for when we get that opportunity, don't give it back.
True.
Don't give it back.
It's like the Tua in the Jalen situation.
Yeah. So you know, and it was funny. It was funny that season because it went on all year. And my dad been gone for 4 years now. We was in over like a minute 35. Told him my dad like 6'3". Well, go in that game. Don't go in that game. So I'm looking like I can't go back to the house with him. Nah, coach, I'm good. I'm good with that one right there. You know. So I kind of took it. Okay, I'm gonna make y'all play.
Right.
So what I did was I went in every practice. I took practice like a game. It make you have to play. If he mess up bad at practice, my reps gonna be clean. So it got to a point where we got to a point in the season. We don't win,
Undeniable.
we don't get in.
Undeniable.
So with me, from where I'm from, in my family, I said, we had a random meet on a Sunday. Like we never had no meet on Sunday. What's going on? My basketball coach meet me at the gate. Get out of the car. Don't get your chain this week. Really? You and JD? Rival? Okay. Going through the week preparing. My mama tell me, got your shot. Don't give it back. Fine, that's all I need to hear leaving that door that morning. She wrapped my little sandwich up in that little foil. I'm good, baby. I'm good. So I had my little ritual on Fridays. I get to that payphone. Hey, baby, what time you gonna be there? Cause I ain't gonna be right till I see you.
Right.
Boy, I'm coming. You good? You got tickets? Boy, I'm coming. I'll be there. Okay. So we get ready. Get on the bus. Tell the OC. First time we get the ball, I'm gonna start. They looking at me like, confident in myself. The first time we get the ball tonight, I'm gonna score.
Right.
Preparation.
Everybody. That's crazy. Make JD go 3 and out, punt the ball, get a penalty, bag goes up. First play of the game, I go 80 yards. Against JD. They go ballistic. But everybody, you know, a lot of people like, we been told, dog. So now,
Yeah, that's the crowd.
that's now I'm like, there ain't no change.
Right.
I'm about to ride this thing on out. You know what I mean? So I tell kid now, man. I say, and coaching my quarterback, I coach the bag up harder than I coach the star.
Right.
But you got to be ready
Got to.
when that time comes. He one player away from getting hurt. You got to be ready.
Got to.
See, I can talk to you from the starter, and I can talk to you from the bag up.
Right.
I could have been in that position to been a butthole and pouting, and by the time came, I flushed it down the toilet.
Right.
But from how I was raised, that wasn't me. You get my chain, I'm gonna take advantage of it.
But like you said, man, that's the way we were raised, though.
Yeah.
Like, if nothing else in our family, man, we're raised to be men first.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I tell everybody. And like he told me when I was in 10th grade, you've been a man a long time. And he used to tell me about my friends. You can't be a man for you and them.
Right. Right.
You can't be a man for you and them. Now you gonna stand up for yourself. I know that. Because me and him had a couple run-ins.
Right. Absolutely. That's love and passion.
You know, me and him had a couple run-ins, but you know, it's just something that was instilled in us through our grandparents, man, and on to our parents from our uncles, our older cousins, because we have 40, 50 older cousins, man, that's well off, that's well established, but they weren't gonna allow us to slack though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they caught you slacking, they were gonna put their foot in your ass. Like that's just it. You know.
And to piggyback off that, man, I had the opportunity, and it was by the grace of God. And I always, this is why I call him the master, because my last stint of playing college ball, he groomed me to the point to the knowledge that they didn't say that they say that we don't have. I sat in a meeting with Buffalo for 2 hours. I thought I was gone. I'm like, dang. I said in Buffalo, Jacksonville, Tampa Bay. I don't tell this to everybody. But you know, I don't tell it to everybody. But I had the opportunity. I was doing some observation hour, Kansas City Chiefs. I had to leave my observation hour like, hey man, you gotta I know I need this for graduating, but this is an interview right here. Yeah. And so I sat there with Buffalo. And we sitting there, we watching film. You know, they break you down so bad till you like, dang, bro, I gotta go back and do a little work. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, dang, he's saying all this. So I said, I said, hey, how tall is this breed? They tell me to stand up. Well, y'all about the same height. I walked out. No, see, you see the tape. We've been here for 2 hours. So it must be something that you like.
Yeah, intrigued.
They intrigued you.
For this
So
long.
because I know what you're gonna see, the next thing gonna be miserable. Your height. Right. You maybe run the 43 times. Right.
Mm-hmm. They trying to find a hole though.
You trying to find a loophole to be like, oh, this and that. Right. Even when it came down to the draft that year, that's
just the process.
The 09 draft that year, Kansas City and Carolina came to undraft, and my guy John got the call to Washington. Right. Come on, man. How you think he got the ball? Right. Carolina take Jimmy Clausen out of Notre Dame. He ain't last but 1 year. Cam come in the next year after that. Like really?
But that goes back to the question. He got the opportunity over you because of skin tone. You know what I mean? Yeah. What about you, Go?
I definitely think there's some issues. You know, I'm an older guy, so I have an old school mentality about it. One thing they taught me to play the position was to be humble, to be presidential. And I love what Shannon Sharp said on TV. He was talking about, well, if you want us to be presidential, who been the presidents?
Yeah.
A white guy.
Yeah.
If you look at the game, certain positions have historically gone to white guys, and it's always been in the middle of the field, quote unquote, the thinking position, quarterback, center, middle linebacker, safety. Okay, so to answer your question, yes, I think it's racism in the game, but at this stage, we have to be phenomenal. And we have guys who have had a few opportunities. So we have to, as veteran guys, we have to pour into the young guys. Okay, you can't do this way and be a guy on their radar. You can't say this and be a guy on their radar. Is it fair? No, it's not fair. Because earlier we said you can be green and play the position.
Exactly.
If you function with those fundamentals.
Exactly.
So, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was finna say the same thing you said about going back to those fundamentals. Like, okay, if you know, okay, this is a possibility, right, that this may be against me, I'm not gonna give you that opportunity.
Absolutely. Right.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna let that opportunity come about. It's just like take Russell Wilson.
Right.
They still doubt him to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
They still doubt Russell.
Yep.
Yeah.
But what all have he done? Win.
Yeah.
Every year.
With marginal talent.
The margin of time.
He still wins.
Yeah.
And like, I always talk about Cam. I think gifted, Cam is probably one of the most gifted quarterbacks to ever play. 6'5", strong arm, he can run, he can do everything. But only thing that I say about Cam is Cam hasn't worked on and bettered his fundamentals. Because he's still throwing the ball off his back foot.
Yeah.
If you're into, what, Cam, 9th, 10th year? 10th year, and you still throwing the ball off your back foot, those are your mechanics. You know what I mean? When you're talking about the white guys, Brady. Brady mechanics are flawless.
Flawless.
You talk about him all the time. Drew Brees, mechanics, flawless. You know what I mean? Now, Patrick Mahomes, his mechanics aren't all that great, but his arm talent and the talent he have around him make up for a lot.
Yeah.
Cam hasn't had that. So that's another variable that we can go into, but we're talking about the individual, what he can do. So these are the outside variables are not affecting him.
And to pick back out there, and I wonder sometimes, and Coach had the privilege of playing against him. But I really just wanted to be on the
Who
sim.
you finna say?
Solid
Solid
Ward, my
Ward.
guy.
Right.
93, he was my guy.
Let me go on record. He ain't my guy.
I know he ain't so guy. I know it. You made me cry. You made me cry.
All right.
But this guy was at a top tier D1 Power 5 school. Won a national championship, Heisman Trophy, and had to go play in the NBA.
Well, I think I'm gonna say something about that. He had a choice. He chose basketball because he would go get drafted higher.
Right.
Now, what you're saying is correct. Why isn't he a first round pick? He'd answered all the questions. I'm the champion. My Heisman winner. My record is clean. Super individual. President of the student body. So, I mean, there was nothing in his armor to say, no chink in his armor to say, why isn't he a first round pick?
Right. They
I agree with you.
They probably talked about his height.
Yeah.
But that one,
But
he was a winner though.
But we go back to now.
He was a
Okay,
winner.
if Baker Mayfield go out there and hit the folk and all that, as the man said,
He got moxie.
Moxie.
That's the difference.
You answering the question right there.
Right now.
Right there. But I want to say this for a minute. We talked about Russell Wilson, right? I look at Russell, tremendous talent, but he's not doing anything to draw attention to himself.
Right.
Beautiful family,
Right.
knows how to say the right things.
Yeah.
He's not threatening to the masses. So, Russell, you good guy.
Yeah.
But my guy, Tavares.
Yeah.
Hey man, every time I say his name, they do something to me. Y'all excuse me one second.
That was the next question. That was my next question.
For him to do 10 years, 6 or 7 as a backup, do you know how phenomenal he had to be as a player and a person?
Yeah.
For those people to say, we're going to carry a black number 2 quarterback, when typically we don't even get that opportunity.
Right.
It's either all or nothing.
Right.
Exactly.
But that says so much about him as a person.
Right. Right.
Now, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I watched him one day at Lanier. I think I was coaching at Lanier that around that time. And I was watching him. I think I was coaching with Holloway.
Right.
And I watched him for like 2.5, 3 hours throw the football. And you know, when you watching people, like you always tell me, when I got tired, it started going 3 quarters.
Right.
My drops got a little lazy.
Right.
But I watched him for 2.5 to 3 hours. His mechanics didn't change. His drops didn't change. The velocity of on the ball didn't change.
Right.
When you talking about technique, he was a technician.
Absolutely.
Like, he was already big, he was strong.
Mm-hmm.
But once his technique became flawless, that is what got Tavares drafted in the second round. Like, he was smart too. You know, came back to
Very
Alabama
smart.
State, he put up numbers, but Tavares was a technician. You know, he worked on his technique all the time.
Right.
And coach, this question is for you.
Good.
Tell us what it meant for you to coach and develop Tavares Jackson.
He came there 14, and I saw him throw the ball. Boom, boom, boom. Huge delivery. Ball jumping out his hand. I went home that night. I told my wife, I said, baby, I pray to God I don't mess him up. I knew then he was going to be a different kind of guy, right? Even at that young age, hard worker, understood the game, mentally and physically tough. You know, I know we talked earlier about the locker room. He was able to handle himself in the locker room, and it was a joy for me to coach him, just like it was you, Drenzo Payne, C.J. Duncan, Carlos Hendricks. All you guys were special, okay? And just back to him for a minute. I never looked at him as a guy that I needed anything from. It was always, I want this kid to experience what I experienced. Traveling, leaving home to see some things, you know, meeting different people. College is the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah.
You've been to college, and you meet people, and you might take a little bit of their game, put it with yours. You know, females. I hear the story all the time about the professor. You talking about Zero. I laugh every time I think about it. So for you guys, including him, to go away to college, man, and experience those type of things, that's all I ever wanted for any of y'all. And I was blessed for him to call me coach, just like I am when you guys call me coach.
And like I tell people all the time, man, to me, he was the gift and the curse to Alabama State. I know a lot of people ain't gonna agree with me, but that's just my opinion.
Explain.
I say he's the gift because he brought something back to Alabama State during that time.
Right.
You know, during that cold-blooded era. They went and won, you know, SWAC championships, this and this and this. And I say he the curse because after him, they've been trying to find guys that game is like Tavares. That is Tavares Jackson.
Right.
You're not going to find him.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like Auburn trying to find the next Cam Newton.
Right.
You got to let that go.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? Like Jack was a needle in a haystack for Alabama State.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, he was just far above and beyond, you know what I'm saying, during that time.
Right.
You know, so I'm not putting down nobody else that played at Alabama State. What I'm saying is, he was that great.
Right. Right.
And they still chasing that greatness instead of, you know,
Absolutely.
like I said, Albany's doing the same thing with Cam Newton. Because they trying to go like the Gatewood kid.
Right.
Y'all go get this kid. You ain't no Cam Newton. I don't care what y'all do with him.
Right.
You can run quarterback power 55 times. He's not going to do what Cam Newton did.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? So that's just my opinion. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but it's just my opinion.
And that was my guy, man. I mean, it was a thrill to know that last game of the season that we're gonna do better. But it was like now in Montgomery, people always call, like, I get tired of it because they always want to make it seem like we was against each other. It wasn't that like that. We were roommates in the All-Star game.
Right.
People don't even know, like, the night after the All-Star game, he go to Little Rock that week, and I go off to school the following week, and we talk to each other the whole freshman year of camp. I had practice with today. What you did, exactly, whoop, whoop, boom, 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 boom. And we kept that up through the years. And I joke with him I joked with him. I said, golly, boy. I said, guess what I can tell my kid? I said, hey, you won the Super Bowl, but never did beat me in high school.
Here we go.
So, I mean, yeah, that was my guy, man.
You know what, though? What you just said, I wish a lot of quarterbacks would understand this. We went to rival schools, and we competed hard. But off the field, I can lean on you, you can lean on me.
Right.
We're working together.
Right.
And I think that's what the city's missing.
Yeah.
You know,
love.
Yeah.
Love.
You got the two premier quarterbacks in the area.
Yeah.
You know, they step on that do battle. We get off the field.
It's love.
It's love.
It's over with. Yep.
And this question is for both of y'all. Tell me who's the best player overall that you coach. I can pretty much guess you.
You say the best player I didn't coach?
I'm talking about all around. I ain't just talking about your position.
All around?
I'm just saying all around. I can pretty much guess your guy.
Rule.
I already know it. That's
Hill
simple.
Rule. And you know, I ain't being a homer when I say that, but just to see and before he got to that level and now he's at the next level, to see this kid being in the booth on Friday night and see this kid, it's hard out run angles now. When somebody got an angle on it. To see him say, I'm looking down like, we gotta get to the next play, and then you like, did he just do that? Did he just rip? This dude had an angle on him and he ran past the dude. Like that was special, man. And he won my high school number, so you know it was even me. I'm up there like get down, sick. You know what I'm talking about? Get down. So you know, hey,
Simple.
yeah, it's simple, man. For
Yeah,
me, man.
So
He was special.
Yeah.
What about you, Coach?
I can't answer the question, Coach, because guys to me did stuff for different reasons why they are special to me. The obvious thing, oh, I coach Tavares, that's obvious. Oh, I coach Roddy White, oh, that's obvious.
Yeah.
But that's not the whole thing that I judge a great play on. Are we talking about the outcome when you go into the NFL, or are we talking about the guy that laid it on the line every
overall,
week?
I mean, it don't have to be. It don't have to be the, you know.
But I can't answer it like that.
Okay.
You know, because that ain't fair to
All the rest of the guys.
I coached.
Gotcha.
That was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Because if you would have said anybody other than me, I was gonna be upset. Nah, come just. It's just that competitive edge.
Yeah.
All right, Coach. Last question.
Okay.
Can you let us know how can the people contact you if kids want to get workouts with the Richard Moncrief Quarterback Institute?
Absolutely. I'm new to the social media, but on Instagram you can go to Coach Moncrief. All right. On Facebook, and I'm gonna go on record like this. My phone number is area code 334-557-9282, and anybody that wants to train from ages 9 up, I'm your guy. If I can't answer it or provide you what you need, here's Coach Johnson right here, and KD Humphreys is always at our disposal.
Okay. And Coach, just tell them about another component you're trying to add for the receivers to Richard Moncrief.
Oh, okay. We want to reach out to wide receivers as well, because if you go into a quarterback room and there's 4 quarterbacks, the receivers have to have the same kind of knowledge as the quarterback. They have to know coverages. They have to know route adjustments. So we're doing RMQI wide receiver. And if I'm lucky enough, I can get Coach Harvest right here to head up that division for us, and then we can expand and continue to grow based on the principles that we've already established.
What I always tell you when you call me.
I'm ready.
You know that. If I can't work for nobody else, man, I can work for you.
Well,
I tell you that all the time.
I want you on the team.
Like,
All right.
like Coach, if I had to come back, and I got that itch to come back to coach again, if I had my choice, it'd be you, because I know the bottom line is we're gonna win. We're gonna develop kids. It's all about the kids, not about us.
Right.
And we're trying to get kids to the next level.
Right.
That's
Right.
what it's about.
Right.
We get them to the next level, and they are ready
Right.
when they step on the field.
Yeah.
Like, we're not gonna have you behind
Yeah.
once you get there. Where you got to sit your freshman year.
Yeah.
Then you're a red shirt freshman, red shirt sophomore. You're not getting on the field till you're a red shirt junior. No, man. I know what you look for because we have coached together before.
Absolutely.
So, and I know, like, you're the same way, Ken.
Yeah.
You know, you're not trying to send a kid into a situation unprepared.
Right.
And that's, you know, man, I really, really appreciate having both of y'all on
Oh
today.
yeah.
And I think, man, with some of the jewels y'all dropped today, you know what I'm saying, it can help the kids that's in the community, in Montgomery and the surrounding areas.
Absolutely.
If you're looking for quarterback or in receiver play, please contact Richard Moncrief. Please contact him. Parents, I can promise you, your son will be light years better the sooner you get him with Coach Moncrief.
Appreciate that.
That comes from the bottom of my heart.
On and off the field.
On and off the field.
I appreciate that.
On and off the field.
Thank you.
So, anything you want to say? Let me ask you this: how you feel about the Corona situation that the season may not be played?
With me on the high school level, you know, it's a you know, you have a certain different turnover every year. So spring is valuable for us.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's valuable for us. So, you know, it's one of those situations where you like, and then, you know, they just, you know, it's that time of the year. You can smell the grass, and you know it's time to go. Your body just know it's time to go.
Right.
You know, and because I've been out there something around the last couple days, man.
Get back into it.
Get back into it, man. So, you know, it one of them things, you know. But at the same time, you know, what's going on right now is bigger than the game.
Yeah.
So, you know, especially with me, I got my mom ill, so, you know, I have to be mindful, you know. I handle myself in public, you know what I mean, with her condition. But, hey, man, if it's time to go, we're going to be ready to go. We're going to have to be ready to go. We ain't going to have no choice.
Exactly. What about you, though?
I think, like Coach said, it's bigger than football. We hadn't had anything like this in my lifetime, so nobody really knows how to handle the situation. So I think we should put caution over anything.
Right.
And if the university or high school or NFL franchise doesn't have the resources for sanitizing everything, then I think you should, you know, really look at making the best decision for the people.
For kids.
Absolutely.
I got you. I totally agree, Coach. Now, I want football bad as all get out because I'm bored.
Yeah.
I'm tired of watching
Yeah.
old games on the SEC network,
Yeah.
ESPNU, and the NFL network. But like you said, Coach, be on the side of caution.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So where you're being proactive instead of reactive. You know, you don't want to, you know, some kids pass away on your watch and then it's shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So go ahead and side on the side of caution. And if we have to play it in the spring,
So
cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, I know it's a $40 billion industry, college football, and I know they're gonna try to kick some of it off, man. I just pray everything go well,
Yeah.
and you know nothing bad happens. So, man,
I got a question for you. I'm sorry. Can you imagine around here if Coach Saban got sick with Corona and something happened to him? How the state and the game of football would be affected? So we talk about the kids, but we got coaches over
yeah.
50,
yeah.
60
Yeah.
years old, and you got to be mindful of them too.
Right.
yeah,
You know?
yeah, them underlying issues.
Absolutely.
You know, and I'm a diabetic, so
Yeah.
I absolutely take care of myself. I tell Ken all the time, man. If I'm not drinking that lemon water with that honey, you know, I got my black seed oil, my moringa, my sea moss, you know, my vitamin C.
Yeah.
You know, I got my Mega Man vitamins that for my immune system.
Yeah.
You know, man, I'm on it. You know, I try to be on it. You know, every time I, you know, go in and out of the house.
Yeah.
So, you know, man, and constantly washing my hands and, you know, not touching things, but, you know, you're just trying to, like I always say, man, proactive instead of reactive.
Yeah.
You know, so, and man, that concludes episode 10 of the Alter Life Podcast. Man, I want to thank Ken Johnson and Coach Richard Moncrief for coming on, man, and just giving us some jewels today, and just talking about some things, just talking about some football, man. And as I said earlier, if you are looking for any type of quarterback tutelage, Richard Moncrief is your guy. I can promise you. You can look at Tavares Jackson like. You can look at Kadarius Humphrey like. You can look at Ken Johnson like. You know, several other guys that we can name that he's had his hand on, that he has helped. So please reach out to Richard Moncrief to get your kid ready for the next level. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.